To own your own home has long been the great Australian dream, but to own a home of this calibre, well, it's often just that, a dream. With an unrivaled level of sophistication and exquisite finishes throughout, today I'm offering you the opportunity to finally fulfil that dream. And the good news is that someone today will be the envy of many and go home with this gorgeous property in their portfolio. Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. My name is Davidson. I will be your auctioneer for today's proceedings, here proudly representing McGrath Estate Agents in Balmain and, of course, John Jones. Now, I'd like to start by thanking my vendors for entrusting me with the sale of this property. Send a special welcome to our prospective purchasers, next door neighbours and onlookers. Lovely to see you all here in such force this morning. Now, the property market is bubbling along beautifully at the moment. The last 6 to 12 months has seen some very favourable market conditions, and many analysts tip that there's still a good amount of growth in this market yet. Now, this increase in auction clearance, accompanied with, of course, the exceptional capital gains that we've seen, show that there's never been a better time for purchasers to take their money out of the financial institutions and to place it into some good quality property. Now, if at any stage throughout the auction, perhaps you're thinking you're hitting your limit, I just ask you keep in mind where interest rates are sitting there at all-time lows, and if you need to be borrowing a few $1,000s, this is probably the market to be doing it in. Now, before we get underway, there are a few formalities that need to be undertaken. By these formalities, I do refer to the terms and conditions of auction. They have been made available throughout the morning and this early afternoon. Bear with me, I will just quickly allude to a few of the more pertinent points before we get underway. Now, firstly, these state that if you do wish to bid today, I do require to be registered. It's a very simple process. Just need enough identification from you in order to give you one of those bidder's cards. And I ask that each and every time you do wish to make an offer, just that you raise that bidder's card so I know the number on which you're bidding on behalf of. Firstly, though, the terms do state that our principal's reserve price must be given to me, the auctioneer, in writing prior to the commencement of the auction. Now, I've received that reserve price, and I can assure you that our vendors are here to meet this market and to sell this property today. The second point relates to the vendor's bid. If I do exercise my one right to utilise that bid, I will let you know when and, of course, where that bid takes place. Now, between you and I think after 4.5 weeks of marketing, it's probably fair that we hear what's on your minds in terms of the value of the property. But in the event that you sit back doing nothing, which will be extremely distressing for me, I'll reserve the right to make one of those throughout the auction this afternoon. Third point, which is the most important, and that is that upon the fall of the hammer, that was a bit loud, excuse me, the auction will come to a close and no further bids will be accepted after that point. So that's a pretty important one. Hopefully you're all aware of the benefits of buying under this wonderful system of this auction. It is the best way to transact property. You can go out and celebrate your acquisition over a late lunch by the time we're done here today. After that event, we'll ask our successful purchasers to come to one side. Yes?
Could you please tell me if land tax is payable?
Land tax being payable. Now, if you look at the bottom or the front page of the contract, we look down here and it says that land tax is in fact not payable on the sale here today, also due to the special conditions in the contract. Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The final one that I was just wanting to say, that after, as soon as practical after the fall of the hammer, we will ask our successful purchasers to come to one side, sign our contract and of course to lodge our deposit today, calling for 10% of the purchase price unless otherwise organised or negotiated prior to today's auction. Alright, well that brings us to today's contract, which has been prepared by CP Lucas & Co. As you're aware, McGrath Estate Agents in Balmain have looked after the marketing of the property, and John Jones, as always, has done a wonderful job at generating interest throughout the campaign as well. Now, we're calling for a 42-day completion period on the property. We are competing for apartment 1 of 36 Louisa Road in Birchgrove, legally known as Lot 1 in Strata Plan 80393. Now, the property will be offered with the benefit of vacant possession. All inclusions are as marked on the front page, and there is a good list of those. Contract itself, look, it's very well prepared, does contain all of those vendor disclosure documents, and I will take it as being read and, of course, understood by yourselves and your legal representatives prior to today's auction. All right, well, it's at this stage where I'd like to ask if anybody else has any further questions in relation to the terms or indeed the contract under which we sell here this afternoon. No further questions? Well, too often these days we're getting caught up in our busy executive lifestyles. Meetings starting at 7:30 a.m, lunch at the desk, more afternoon meetings before finally wrapping things up at 7 o'clock to rush home for tonight's episode of The Block or MasterChef. Now, wouldn't it be nice to have a place to get away from all that? A place where you can finally feel comfortable and in control. Strategically positioned on the famous Sydney Harbour foreshores, apartment 1 of 36 Louisa Road offers you the opportunity to finally fulfil all of your wildest hopes and dreams. offering ultimate privacy on this 561 square metre residence being offered for the first time ever today. And the good news is that I think our developers must have had a complete disregard for a budget when they built this building of 6. So picture this, you shut down your computer after a long, hard day's work in the city, hop into your car and drive just a short 10 minutes over the Anzac Bridge. As you meander your way down the famous strip of retail that is Darling Street, Balmain, you immediately feel a sense of comfort and community as you're surrounded by some of the best restaurants and cafes anywhere in Sydney. When you arrive at your destination, you park your car into one of the 4 allotted spaces that have been made available to you.
Actually, Mr. Auctioneer, can I just
Absolutely,
ask you to clarify, is that car stacker for exclusive usage of this unit?
Yeah, it's a good question. In the terms and conditions, or rather in the special conditions of the contract, you will note that it does state that it is not actually specifically for this unit. However, that you do have to refer to the bylaws. Now, the bylaws do state that you will have from this unit exclusive use of the 4 stacker car space. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Do you have 4 cars?
Sometimes.
Yeah, right. Well, that's good. Your friends can park there anyway. Thank you for your question, sir. Now, as we get back to exactly where we are, we can park our car in one of the 4 allotted car spaces at the property. As you enter your front door, you're immediately met with the fresh aromas of a home-cooked meal, be it a lamb roast or a tofu salad, depending on what your food preferences are, of course. This whole floor home, which quite frankly feels more Torrens than it does strata, offers 4 separate bedrooms, all with built-in robes and all with their own private ensuite. And that master also boasts an enormous walk-in wardrobe as well. Make your way into the kitchen and you're met with the finest in contemporary finishes on the market. Your island kitchen flows generously on your open plan living, dining and lounge, which seamlessly transition into your north-facing, outdoor entertaining 280 square metre terrace. And beyond that, well, that's where your 63-foot Riviera sits, safely moored on your own private 18-metre marina berth. Panoramic views from this position are enjoyed right the way up the harbour and of course back towards Cockatoo Island. Showcasing resort-style facilities, including a common pool area, direct lift access, C-Bus 2 intelligence, and of course ducted air conditioning throughout as well. This home is perfect for the executive couple who want to live in the height of opulence. It is a wonderful home, just a stone's throw away from the Sydney CBD and the local amenities. Ladies and gentlemen, that is enough from me. It is now your turn to tell me what you think this property is worth. So ladies and gentlemen, for an opening bidder offer for apartment 1 of 36 Louisa Road in Birchgrove, where do we go? Where do we start? Who would like to get the bidding underway for me? Beautiful. What do we think? Safest place to do it's here under auction conditions with me, and I'm here to translate your values. Like to get the ball rolling. Our vendors have been very reasonable. Somewhere in the mid to late 3s to start me away, I would have thought. Who's got about 3.8? 3.7?
3.7.
3.7. Can I just see your bidder's card the once if I could? There we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our staff at the bidder up close at $3,700,000 the bid. So at 3.7 is the money now, bid 3.7 the call. At $3,700,000 the offer. I'd like to move in what? 25s from here if we could. With my start at 3.7 is the bidder bid 3.7 the money now. At 50. Can I see your bidder's card as well, sir? Is that $750? $3.75 is the bidding close at $3,750,000 the offer. And madam, same courtesy to you if you'd like it. $3,750 is the bidder bid. 50 again to make it 3.8. Against you now, sir, on the left-hand side with the start at $3.8 million the offer. What do you think? It's a lot of home for this value. How much, sir?
Is it on the market?
We're here to sell it, but I can't sell it to you unless you make an offer. $3,800,000 is the offer just here. Would you like to make a bid, sir? You'd love to, I'm sure. $3,800,000 is here, sir. If you want to make an offer, you've got to put one in now. $3,800,000 is the bid there. Against all other parties, sir, I'll take a 25 from you as well. At $3,800,000, the bidder bid. How much?
100.
To make it 3.9. Can I see your bidder's card as well?
Don't have one.
You're not registered. Ladies and to our agents, can we please get this party registered?
Done.
We are registered. Yes, madam, I will accept your offer there of $3,900,000. So against all other parties now at 3.9 is the bid. Seated at the rear against it, both parties in close. At $3,900,000 the offer, ladies and gentlemen, they're no better bids. I will take a 10 from you if it helps. What do you think? I think you wish you didn't come along today, and I understand that. $3,900,000 is the bid back there.
100.
$4 million I have. Well, there goes that mental hurdle. Around the corner we go. At $4 million, a bit of it pulls the call now. At $4 million, the offer. Take a 25 from anybody else if we like it. Get it off this even number. Generally, everybody's limits. So at $4 million, the bid in close against all other parties now. At $4 million, the offer. Surely not it. Ladies and gentlemen, are there no better offers than $4 million? I don't believe. Well, madam, I think you're getting a bargain. Ladies and gentlemen, be warned. At $4 million, here it goes first. Sir, any use to you at this level? You're looking very comfortable. $4 million is seated just to your left with the start. What do you think? Can I say a 10? Got to be worth every solitary penny of this. Gorgeous views right up the harbour. And 50 I have. At $4 million and 50's the bidding, close a bid, 4050's the offer. Now keep with it, madam, you're going beautifully. $4 million and 50's here, 75.
4.1.
4.1 I have. At $4,100,000 the offer. Take your 50 as well, sir, if you want it. At $4,100,000 the bid of it. 4.1's the offer now.
50.
And 50. $4,150's the offer. 4.2. What do you think? 4.2's against you.
Don't bid me more. I want this property.
Sir,
It's mine.
lovely to hear a voice. Tell you what, take a second, sit down. I won't have any of that at my auctions. That is collusive practices. Please take a seat. $4.2 million is the bid at the moment. You're going well, going beautifully at the top of the heap. So stay right where you are, okay? $4,200,000. Are you all right, madam? Perfect. I'll tell you what I will do, just because I'm in a good mood. I'll take a little 5 from you if you want. At $4,200,000 the bid, I want 4.2's the call now.
20.
And 20. 4.220's the call and 25's the offer now at $4,225,000 the bid and still worth every penny of this. At $4,225,000. 35 is on you if you can have it, yes? 4,235's the bid. At $4,235,000 the offer.
5.
40 now. 4,240's the bid.
5.
45. 4,245's the offer. Moving in small bids, they don't hurt much. $4,245,000 the offer. What do you think? Got to be worth it, sir. A stone's throw from the Sydney CBD. All of this for $4,245,000. I don't know. Seems like good value to me, but I'm not buying it. You finished, sir? Well, madam, I think you've got it then. At $4,245,000 with you, ladies and gentlemen, are there no better bids? Then could I please confirm my instructions with our vendor? We're right to go. Well, it looks like you've got it then. Ladies and gentlemen, we're playing for keeps and we're selling this property today at $4,245,000. Be warned. Here it goes. First, second. I'll take a single, sir. Can I say? $4,245,000. The bid is back there seated. You certainly finished. You don't look done. But what would I know? $4,245,000 is back there. You finished? Are you finished, madam? And sir, to you. You cool down a little bit? That's the way. Good to see. I'd love to see you get back in it. $4,250,000's the offer now at $4.25 million the bid. At $4,250,000 the offer now. What do we think? You're out. You hit your limit. Have you exceeded your limit? That's what they're for. You done? Thank you so much for coming along. Sir, I think you've got it. Ladies and gentlemen, be warned. At $4.25 million, here it goes first. Second. Third and final time at $4.25 million. Last chance before it goes. Quickly. Finished. Done. Congratulations, sir. Very much for your attendance here this afternoon. Wonderful to see such a great crowd. Have a wonderful weekend and we hope to see you all again very, very soon. Thank you very much.